Hey Joey, how's your anus?
What's going on, Chopt Cheese? Welcome back. Another
good?
episode. We got Swigs and Jigs. Swigs and Jigs. Something's missing? Swigs and Jigs?
Huh?
Okay, anyway. So yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you been?
Chilling, bro.
We back.
I got some shit to talk about, bro. I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but some shit, man. Kyle Rittenhouse, he's a free man.
My man Kyle.
Acquitted on all 5 charges.
All charges.
Fucking liberals and mainstream media in Hollywood are exploding, going bananas over the verdict.
Saw that boy collapse in the courtroom.
Yo, bro, that shit brought tears to my eyes, bro.
Made my hair stand up.
On the real, bro, I looked at him, and me being my age, I looked at him like a boy, bro. Like he wasn't a man, even though he's 18 now today of this day. You know, he was 17 or 16 when it happened. 17. It's a kid, bro. Even though he's 18, bro.
I don't know. I must not be woke because I'm just trying to look for something bad he did. It looked like to me he went to go help people that he knew.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna play devil's advocate from jump, bro.
I'm trying to right now
because on the real, the first thing that we're gonna say is the obvious that everybody always points out. What was he doing there to begin with?
I don't know. I know what he wasn't doing there. He was not hunting pedophiles.
He was not hunting pedophiles. He wasn't defaming property. He was actually shown earlier that day to be cleaning it up, the graffiti and shit. He wasn't out there on some shit where he was setting fires.
No.
He wasn't stealing anything. No. If anything, he was probably just on the side where he was with a bunch of people that were probably doing a little bit too much of the security that they were set out to do, so to speak. I remember I saw a video that they showed in the trial where there was a black girl and she was like, police your property, don't police the streets, which I thought was a good chant because they were, encouraging them like, okay, if you're here to do that, then do that.
Yeah.
Don't follow us, don't police the streets.
I hear that. That's cool.
So just off of that, like, the wrongs and the rights and the wrongs aren't always at play when it comes to legal standpoints in the court of law. We have to just look at what the judge said. When Kyle Rittenhouse isn't being charged for bad judgment, he's being charged for these in particular charges.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So speaking of those charges,
what were those charges?
Those charges were, first of all, these are all felonies, right? He was being charged with first-degree reckless homicide of Joseph Rosenbaum.
First-degree reckless homicide. Okay.
That's punishable up to 65 years imprisonment.
Oh, my gosh.
First-degree intentional homicide of Anthony Huber.
Intentional homicide. That
mandatory
means that he
life
meant to shoot this guy.
Without parole. Then first-degree reckless endangering safety against an unknown male victim.
But
up to 17 years.
I want to clarify something. The one before that, is that with motive? Like, is that what that's stating? Or
there isn't a particular motive, but remember they were considering him a mass shooter at one point. And then the one that got thrown out, which is not a felony, was a misdemeanor, the possession of a dangerous weapon, being under the age of 18. So if you think about it, yo, bro, I think just to start off with, if we got to rewind and go all the way back to when we first heard about this shit. Remember, me and you were even physically walking around one of their demonstrations downtown where shit was on fire. They were fucking shit up, breaking into places. From jump, once there was a particular person that died or whatever skin color by the cops, their actions didn't call for what was taking place.
Okay. You mean, what do you mean that the actions were?
Well, because remember, however you want to call it, mainstream media or whatever, they weren't labeling it pretty much what we were seeing it as. It wasn't peaceful protesting. It was more like destruction and rioting.
Yeah, it was not.
I mean, like we just saw earlier, how many people died in the last year and a half due to these Black Lives Matter Antifa riots? More than 2,000.
Unbelievable, bro.
Fucking 3 billion potential property damage.
That stuff has spilled into society now. Like that stuff, you see all the videos of people just going into stores and stealing shit.
And just walking out like nothing.
I just saw a video of people stealing like 2 shopping carts full of the giant like Gain and Tide
detergent and shit.
Yo, that's mad bread.
Yo,
like,
how many clothes you gotta wash though?
no, they're gonna sell all
Holy
that shit on like fucking offer up. And then offer up's gonna be hitting.
But I say we gotta go back to the beginning, because if you remember in particular, there was a presidential race going on with Biden and Trump.
Yeah. Okay.
And in the debate, remember Biden tried to call out Trump saying he doesn't denounce white supremacy.
I remember that. Yes, when he did a bunch of times.
Condemn the actions of vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse.
We're looking at all of it. That was an interesting situation. You saw the same tape as I saw. And he was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like. And he fell. And then they very violently attacked him. And it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation. But I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been. He probably would have been killed. But it's under investigation.
Do you think private citizens should be taking guns?
I'd like to see law enforcement take care of everything. I think everything should be taken care of law enforcement.
Well, he got hit right with a skateboard.
The skateboard, someone kicked him in the head.
Now my question to you: even if you're gonna get into a fight, right? Somebody pulls out a bit. They don't even have to pull the gun out. The shit is he had the. It's such a big gun, right? It's visible. It wasn't concealed. It's a big gun.
Which he even said it was more of a deterrent.
You fuck with the guy with a gun, like.
See, a lot of people that I've spoken to, they said that the reason why they were going for the gun is not because they were trying to fuck with someone with a gun. They thought, and they were under the impression he was a mass shooter.
They thought he was a mass shooter.
Yeah, and that they were trying to disarm someone who was killing people.
Why did they think he was a mass shooter? Because he was
Good question.
White?
Good question. I have
Is
no.
it because he was white?
That was a narrative that was actually brought up later on after the shootings.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, right after all of this occurred with the presidents, you see again Biden calls out Trump saying, "Oh look, Kyle Rittenhouse, look, he's part of a militia, and Trump can't call out these white supremacists."
Well, look, I don't know enough to know whether that 17-year-old kid exactly what he did, but allegedly he's part of a militia coming out of the state of Illinois. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it?
So once that was the stigma on Kyle from Biden, bro, there's no turning back from that.
Are militias, so the next question I beg to ask you, is anybody that has a gun in a militia?
Not necessarily.
Why not? So then
But you see, he was referencing again the Proud Boys, because he had just referenced them in the debate.
But Kyle Rittenhouse never mentioned anything about that.
See, at that moment, he was just looking for political
points.
points.
Around talking about Proud Boy.
See, but he was just looking for political points at that moment. He wasn't looking for anything else.
I'm not for any other rioting. Not from any side. Not from.
His words were damaging and inflammatory. Like, bro, how do you go about your case? How do you go on defending yourself? How do you go about anything opening up? And you remember, he wasn't even allowed to have GoFundMe because he was labeled as a terrorist.
He had a GoFundMe and they
brought
ended it.
Yep. He wasn't allowed to get bail up until 2 months, bro. That dude was in prison for 2 months until someone was finally able to clear the bail bullshit that was going on. And who was one of the main persons that funded it? The fucking MyPillow guy.
Oh, was it?
He was one of the main people who funded the whole the bail for Kyle.
Really?
True story.
Let's go MyPillow.
And then if you look at it, after all of that occurred, look, the trial took man long because of Fifi and shit. There shouldn't have even been a fucking trial to begin with if you look at the case. And that shit has been brought up so many times where the footage had already been there, they oversaw it, and then the prosecution even brought up charges mad late. It was a political hit piece, bro, in my opinion.
How much publicity has MyPillow guy got? Those things must be selling through the wazoo.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't know what MyPillow was until after all this stuff.
No, for real?
Yeah.
Nah, I know. I ain't gonna lie.
You know, I don't watch much TV and stuff like that. I had no idea what that was. And I know what is Mike Lindell?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Biden's always talking about he doesn't watch shit. Oh, I didn't see it, this and that, but then he has a fucking opinion on it. You're entitled to your opinion, but you can't in one breath say you didn't see something and then in the next have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because just off of that, bro, he prejudged the whole situation and just put it in a category, like I said, just for political points, and threw him in that fucking white supremacist bullshit.
Hey Joey, how's your anus?
He said it was pretty good. Did you hear what he had to say about everything?
No.
They asked him, a reporter came up to him and was like, "Hey Joey, do you still equate Kyle Rittenhouse to white supremacy?" And he told he didn't answer, and his response was, "So the verdict." And I, not verbatim, he was like, the juror spoke, and we gotta like respect the verdict, so to speak. But then the funny thing is, a statement that was put out by the White House, which represents him because it's Biden's administration, kind of didn't say that. It was a little bit towards him giving his own, his own opinion, which is biased and like leaning left, obviously, and giving sympathy towards, the people who died that Kyle Rittenhouse murdered. You know what I mean? Even though it was self defense, it's disgusting, bro. Look, these people take opportunities, bro. That was him right there. The perfect opportunity for him to, reclaim his stance and give people hope that he is sane and he's not a fucking puppet, but he continues on with his nonsense. That's what these people are.
Your boy Joey B. Joey Badass.
Closing arguments, bro. Kyle was what I came here for, bro.
Yeah. What the actual fuck is going on with this world? That kid shouldn't have gone to court.
Never should have even been charged or tried, whatever. Should have never made it there.
Where's Kenosha?
Wisconsin. And like I said, people been fucking smearing all kinds of misinformation, which goes to the defamation cases, because once again, he did not cross state lines with a weapon, right? That charge was already thrown out when it came to him being of age, so he wasn't even facing a gun charge anymore. So it's like, you can make up your own shit. You can have your own opinion. You come here for our opinions. You don't come here for the facts. But when your opinions start to become your facts and you start to spread them as facts and it's misinformation, that shit is detrimental to the people around you and yourself, because you start to believe in all these bullshit narratives. And that shit is toxic, to run around and to believe everything you hear and never question anything. I'm not saying I haven't fallen victim of it. Everyone has, but, we're now all wolves in sheep clothing. A lot of us understand that we have a lot more to learn. But when you think you know it all, and anything that's contrary to what you believe and you live in the echo chamber and you just shut it down, that is not meaningful to society, and that is not how we engage with society, and that's not how we come off as respectful and actually learn from one each other and, try to come to an understanding and what would not even compromise, but so to speak, compromise.
No, but just come to some kind of middle ground, like some kind of acceptance. There's a lack of acceptance. What? No, there's always going to be a side to everything, and there's always going to be people. There's always going to be a psychologist working somewhere that's going to bring up a debate that'll have two sides, and that's the important thing, is to have somebody have an opinion about shit.
But opinions are good. We're not shitting on opinions. We're shitting on people who force their opinions as facts. Because when you constantly go on social media and say these things about this little kid, that's fucked up, because it's already been proven in court that that's inaccurate. So why would you purposely go around spreading inaccurate information unless you have a bad agenda in place? After the trial, bro, they showed he was not guilty. Yo, bro, even CNN was biting the bullet and talking like common sense shit, bro. Like, they even went in on, like, and what they brought up,
what are you gonna do? It was so bad, and then they weren't even showing much of the defense. They weren't even showing much of the defense.
Mainstream media, they were showing only the prosecution shit.
So it kind of looked, they made it look decent. Like,
so you think an average American saw that, or that just seemed normal to them?
That seemed normal to them. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't watching the news outlets like Court TV or outlets that play just the trial, and you was watching news outlets that were playing the trial while they were commentating, you saw something way different.
You think there's more people with common sense, or there's more people that don't have a path and they want to just be a part of something? Not even like they just alone.
I think common sense and sprinkling the fear of being different or standing out or, like going against the narrative. Because that's one of the major roadblocks for people. Like, you can come to the conclusion of something that just may seem fishy or off or odd, but then it's actually implementing in your life and people around you. Anyway,
I've seen shit.
I'm good. Chopt Cheese, thank you.
Like, subscribe,
You
thumbs up.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe.
We love you. I'm not suicidal.
I've seen the increase in subscribers. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I know
Thank you
a lot
very
of it
much.
is it's not up to us, it's not up to you, it's up to the algorithm and how people assume and put in place whether our content is deemed edifying and necessary towards the entertainment section.
We really appreciate the subs. Now leave some comments.
You only come here.
What should we change? What should we keep talking about? Let us know. We're responsive. We might hit you back, or we might talk about what you have to say. Might talk about your comment.
You feel me?
Hit us in the comments. There's enough of you now to hit us up in the comments. We love you guys, Chopt Cheese.
Thank you very much. Oh, and if you only saw 2 people...